This is the pattern of the Hawke's Bay spring landscape. Smooth, rolling land, easy hills. Warm spring green crossed with the darker lines of pine plantations, lightened by the bare branches of golden willows. A pastoral province stretching from the Pacific coast to the center of New Zealand's North Island. Spring comes early to Hawke's Bay, and September sees the new green on the willows by Lake Tutira. For the farmer, his mind on sheep all the year round, the spring means one thing above all others: lambs. In July, probably, they've started to arrive. Now, by August and September, lambs are everywhere. New spring life declares itself in farms and gardens all through the country, most of all in the large-scale gardens around Hastings and Havelock North. The busy season for the orchardist comes later. For the present, he can watch the work and wealth of the coming summer taking shape on his trees. The promise of apple and plum, harvests of apricot, nectarine, and peach. Once a year, blossom takes the town by storm. Here in Hastings, they're holding the September Blossom Festival, and this procession is one of its highlights. Floats are heaped high with flowers. Lorries unaccountably blossom into gardens, carrying spirits of spring. Hastings takes Blossom Week pretty seriously. Buttonholes of flowers bloom on city lapels. Banners and garlands decorate the streets. Most of the great piles of blossom have been carried in from Havelock North, Hastings' garden suburb at the foot of Te Mata Peak. Life in Havelock moves at a leisurely pace. City workers and farmers plan to retire here, to live in one of its tree-set homes, to work in the garden that's the pride of every house owner. As September gives way to October, the yellow spring wattle on the Havelock trees deepens to a dull burnish. October, November, early summer dries up the country roads, and the tempo of farm life quickens to the demanding pace of shearing time, a high point of the year for the sheep farmer and an anxious one, for the value of his wool clip is the measure of his year's success. Here, in the dim heat of the shearing shed, another season pays its dividend, product of good pastures, mild climate, hard work. Bales in the Napier and Hastings wool stores are mostly shipped from the little port of Napier. No passenger liners make their way to Port Ahuriri, but it handles a vast amount of cargo from the province and the North Island's east coast. Valuable cargo, too, a contribution to meet the world's demand for meat and wool. Over the bluff from Port Ahuriri, you can look down on Napier, Napier at full summer, welcoming the Christmas visitors. Travelers on their way through from Taupo or Wairaki, perhaps, or bound for a holiday at Lake Waikari Moana. This family have rooms in a hotel overlooking Napier's marine parade. centre of a great part of the city's Christmas activity and setting for the Mardi Gras that will be coming up at New Year. These kids won't win any world championships, but they've learned to skate in the hardest school of all, solid concrete. Napier's a prosperous city with a vigorous farming commerce. Small, even by our standards, but the visitor finds busy streets and pleasant gardens and a hot seaside summer. Setting out from one of Napier's beaches, a bit of rock climbing brings you to Cape Kidnappers, carpeted all the summer with a thick mass of gannets. This is their breeding ground, and year after year the graceful white seabirds return to the Cape. Nobody knows where they go in the meantime, but every summer sees the gannets soaring above Kidnappers, the female watching her mate with strange accuracy till he lands back beside her. This is a gannet display of affection. It happens every time a pair is reunited. Father perhaps was bringing food, in which case he's swallowed it and now presents it digested to the youngster. The summer weather is settled and clear, and above the Cape the gannets stretch out their wings in the January sun, the sun that all over the province is ripening the various harvests of grain and fruit. Work in the orchards is well underway, and the cases of apples, pears and stone fruit flow out from Hawke's Bay in a steady stream to cities and towns of the country. And out of the seminary at Green Meadows, students are hard at work in the mission vineyards dealing with the grape harvest. They do all the outdoor work of the winemaking, an excellent counterpart to long hours of study indoors. From the traditional winemaking pattern of hot sunshine and cool dark, Green Meadows and the other surrounding vineyards are turning out a wide range of excellent table wines bound for homes all over New Zealand. February, and the children go back to school. Hawke's Bay children can go to the many state schools in town and country, or they can stay at the large boarding schools like Woodford House or Iona College. 20 miles south of these Havelock boarding schools stands Te Aute College, offering the best in education to Maori boys from all over the Dominion. The March rains, and the ground softens for hunting. This autumn and winter sport starts early, for it must end when the lambs arrive. There's a fair amount of the hunting tradition left, in the formal dress of the riders and the kennel names of the hounds. Beagles, actually, smaller than foxhounds, and their quarry the fast-moving hare. The rolling landscape's ideal, and as the huntsman conveys the message of the hounds to the riders, the hunt's away to an exhilarating run in the sharpening air. The changing season brings no halt in the work of the land. Into autumn and winter it goes on, and round to spring to start the cycle again. Here is the province's landscape, rich, open, inviting, taking as its due the work and care put into it, yielding for return the prosperity of Hawke's Bay.